Motivation feels powerful. When it's there, everything feels possible. You feel focused, energized, ready to change. It feels like the missing piece. If you could just stay motivated, progress would take care of itself. That idea is comforting, because it explains failure without questioning the system. Sure, you didn't fail. You just lost motivation. But real life doesn't collapse because motivation disappears. It collapses because motivation was never meant to be stable. You wait for motivation to start, to return, to keep going. Some days, it shows up. You feel aligned, clear, certain about what matters. You make progress. Then another day arrives. Energy is lower. Mood is flat. Life feels heavier. Motivation doesn't vanish. It just fades. Tasks that felt meaningful now feel distant. You delay. You tell yourself you'll continue when motivation comes back. And time passes. Not because you don't care, but because the system requires a feeling that cannot be scheduled. The popular story is everywhere. Motivation is the engine of change. Find your why, stay inspired. Keep the fire alive. If you lose motivation, you're told to watch something, read something, remind yourself again. Motivation is treated like fuel, something you must constantly refill. It sounds reasonable, because motivation does help in the beginning. But the story ignores how motivation actually behaves over time. Motivation fails quietly because it is emotional. It responds to novelty, meaning hope. But emotions fluctuate. They rise, they fall. They change without permission. A system that depends on emotion will always be unstable. Motivation also decays with familiarity. What once felt exciting becomes ordinary. What once felt meaningful becomes routine. And routine is where most progress actually happens. Motivation performs poorly there. Another hidden problem is delay. Motivation often arrives after progress, not before it. Waiting for motivation creates inertia. Nothing moves. And without movement, motivation has nothing to attach to. This creates a loop. No motivation, no action. No action, no motivation. People interpret this as a personal flaw. I should want this more. Instead of recognizing a structural issue, there is also a cost to chasing motivation. It keeps resetting expectations. You look for the feeling again. The excitement. The clarity. The certainty. But real life rarely provides that level of emotional alignment. So progress becomes sporadic. Intense bursts. Long gaps. And nothing compounds. Motivation is useful as a signal, not as a foundation. It tells you what feels meaningful in a moment. But it cannot carry repetitive effort. Most lasting change is emotionally neutral. Not exciting, not inspiring. Just consistent interaction with reality. A better question than how do I stay motivated is how do I act when I'm not? The systems that last do not require emotional readiness. They function on low days. They work when motivation is absent. This is where structure matters. Structure does not create passion. It creates continuity. And continuity is what allows meaning to grow over time. A better framework assumes motivation will fluctuate. It does not fight that. It designs behavior that can run without emotional fuel. Small defaults. Low activation energy. Clear cues. Instead of asking, do I feel like doing this? The system asks, is this the next small step motivation becomes optional, not the gatekeeper. When progress continues without motivation, motivation often returns naturally, not as pressure, but as a byproduct. Motivation feels like freedom, but freedom is unreliable. Real life requires systems that function without perfect feelings. If your progress depends on being inspired, it will stall. If your progress depends on structure and design, it can continue. The goal is not to feel motivated all the time. It is to keep moving when motivation is gone. Quietly, steadily, over time. If this helped you think more clearly, you'll probably enjoy the next essay.